I'm going to be ranking 5 new foundations in this video today. I have tried these over and over and over again, and when I tried them for that long, I tried them some more just so that I could collate all my information. I know how these wear, how they wear best, how they apply best, how they last throughout the day. So I'm going to give you all of my insights. 5 foundations, and by the end of this video you will know my ranking order of which ones I absolutely loved and looked beautiful on my skin and which ones didn't do so well. Kicking it off with the Ordinary's Serum Foundation. This is a re-release. I'm not sure if this is a reformulation, but it wears on me totally different to the original formula, so, you know, I just don't know. I still have question marks about this particular foundation. I wore this in a previous Get Ready With Me. I thought we'd do a deep dive. So this is the Ordinary Serum Foundation. It only costs £6.40 in the UK. You get the standard 30ml. It comes in 36 shades. I've gone for the shade 2.0N, which is for light to medium skin tones with a neutral undertone. It has a runny consistency with great pigmentation. It comes in a plastic bottle with a pump. It's very easy to use and it locks shut, so great for travel. It's a very simple formula, which is alcohol and fragrance free, so if you have sensitive skin you may be okay here. I like the fact this is no bells and whistles. This doesn't have any added skincare benefits. It is a bog standard serum foundation and I love that. You're going to get light to medium coverage from this, and it's going to give you a very skin-like finish, more of a satin-like skin-like finish, depending on how much you apply. This is buildable if you want to build it up in certain areas, but it's obviously going to look more like foundation the more you build this up. Like I said earlier on, I don't think this is a new formulation. However, totally different to the original one. I found the original one really powdery. It separated quite a lot. I didn't like it on my skin. It was quite drying. It was quite tightening. And yeah, it just didn't last very long at all. This is completely the opposite. I find this quite hydrating on my skin. The pigmentation for me is not powdery. It's punchy. For a serum foundation, you are going to get coverage with this, but I really like it, so I was surprised. This doesn't really feel like a foundation on my skin. It feels more like tinted moisturizer, but it has that extra coverage that no other tinted moisturizer has ever given me in the past. This is more like a foundation with a tinted moisturizer feel, and the wear time is fab. So I'd had this on my skin all day. I'd had quite a busy day, so my face is shinier. With regards to any wear tests, I don't do touch-ups throughout the day. I don't powder my skin throughout the day. So what you see at the end of the day is the wear of the foundation with no touch-ups whatsoever. And although this is shinier, obviously, because I have an oily T-zone, everything was still intact, and again, I was impressed. I would say that this does deepen on the dry down process though, so definitely be careful when you're picking your shade that you don't go for the shade that is in the bottle immediately after dispensing this out onto the back of your hand. Wait 2 minutes for it to deepen slightly as it's trying to dry down, and that will be the shade that it's going to be. Doesn't deepen continuously throughout the day. As soon as that 2 minutes has lapsed, that is the shade that it's going to be. So I wouldn't say that it oxidized, but I definitely would say that this deepens down when it's dried. Next up, we've got the E.L.F. Halo Glow Skin Tint. This is a mineral broad spectrum SPF 50 with a tint in here, and that tint is quite spectacular. I wasn't expecting to get the coverage that I got from this, so I was pleasantly surprised. So this is the E.L.F. Halo Glow Skin Tint SPF 50. It's going to set you back £18 in the UK, and you get 30ml worth of product. It comes in 18 shades. I've gone for the shade 4 Light Neutral, which is absolutely perfection on my skin tone. It gives light, buildable coverage. It is going to give you a natural dewy finish. The more you build this up, the dewier this is going to get. This has a mineral SPF in here. It's got zinc oxide. There are no white cast whatsoever. It's also got niacinamide, bisabolol, and allantoin in there for its really soothing and calming qualities. It's water resistant for 80 minutes, which I think is absolutely fantastic for a skin tint. It's also alcohol free and fragrance free. It comes in a plastic tube. The product dispensers quite quickly out of this, which I'm not mad at. I think it's, you know, it's a nice application. However, if you are just going to be applying this as a tint rather than an SPF, you may waste a bit of product from here because the consistency is incredibly runny, which is why it shoots out of the bottle quite quickly. This applies beautifully. Don't apply too much at once though, because it can feel a little bit heavier on the skin with those mineral filters being on there. And when it dries down, it can look a little bit cakey if you've applied too much in one sitting, and it dries down to more of a putty look on the skin rather than it sinking into the skin. So apply in layers if you're wanting to build this up. This does feel more like foundation. It dries down. There's no tackiness on the surface of my skin whatsoever, which again I was pleasantly surprised at. It does have a non-drying formula, but it has a heavy mineral sunscreen feel. It's definitely not lightweight. It has a sort of tightness to it, which is the usual feeling that I get when I apply a mineral sunscreen. This lasted a really good amount of time though, which again, I was not expecting for a product not only that is affordable, but also that has a mineral SPF in it. Usually they don't last very long or they go patchy on me throughout the day, and this didn't do that. I didn't have very much of the product left on the tip of my chin on this particular day, but I did have better results as the days progressed. Moving on to the number 7 Pro Artist Weightless Silk Sheer Foundation. I wasn't expecting to like this at all. I'd seen it used by other content creators. I'd seen the sheen on the surface of the skin and I thought that's just not going to be for me, but I'll try it anyway. So this is the number 7 Pro Artist Weightless Silk Sheer Foundation. It's £19.95 in the UK and you get 30 mils. This is going to give you light coverage with a natural radiant finish. It comes in a plastic squeezy tube. It's very easy to use. It's very travel friendly, and the fluid serum like consistency doesn't dispense too quickly out of the packaging. This comes in 12 different shades. I've gone for cool vanilla. I have never been a cool undertone. I am more dominant warm as a neutral undertone. However, this looks really nice on my skin and my mum is the same shade. This has added vitamin C to brighten, vitamin E to nourish and protect, sodium hyaluronate to hydrate, and panthenol to soothe. It is also alcohol and fragrance free. This feels so lightweight on my skin as if it wasn't even there. It's not fantastic coverage, it's not airbrushing, but it looks lovely. This looks like my skin, only a better version of my skin, and with a little bit of powder to hold everything in place and set it down, the finish on this is beautiful. For a skin tint, it lasted a decent amount of time. The photographs here are after 6 hours. I did get very shiny throughout the day, but if you're just looking for something to apply to the skin to run a few errands, if you don't want it to look perfect from morning till night, this is a great product to use. If you do want it to look perfect, a skin tint, especially one that has a natural radiance to it, probably isn't going to be one that you'll pick up anyway, but it is so beautiful for summertime and I will be wearing this again. Next up, the Bare Minerals Bare Pro 24-Hour Skin Perfecting Powder Foundation. Now, I didn't know that this was new. I picked it up because I needed to pick another one up because I hit pan, and not only did I hit pan, I mean, it just, look what we have here. It's all broken up and everything. I used this to death because it is one of my favorite products. So I was speaking to Stephanie Marie and she asked me if I tried the new Bare Pro powder. Now, I thought this was the new Bare Pro powder. I thought they've only just had a reformulation. Surely they haven't brought out another one. Well, apparently they have. So this is the 16-hour This is now the 24 hour. So I've picked up a slightly different shade in this. I was shade 22 Cool. Again, never been a cool undertone. So I decided to pick this one up in light 20 Neutral. And it is lovely on my skin, especially with a little bit of a tan, because I do have more of that warmer neutral undertone, especially in those summer months. So this is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro 24 Hour Skin Perfecting Powder Foundation. It costs £37.50 in the UK, and you get 8 grams worth of product, or 0.28 ounces. This comes in 35 shades. Like I've just said, I've gone for the shade 20 Neutral, which is for very light skin tones with a peach hue. It's going to give you anywhere from medium to full coverage, and it will give you a natural matte finish. This is also a long-wearing formula. It's got cocoa butter in here, shea butter, sugarcane derived squalane, and vitamin E to nourish. It's got intense hydration and moisturization. It's also got added vitamin C plus pineapple fruit extract to brighten, and it's alcohol and fragrance free. It comes in a plastic sturdy case with a sponge and mirror provided, which is great for on the go. Even if you're not wearing this as a foundation all over your skin, it is fantastic to have in your handbag for touch-ups throughout the day. If you want a full coverage, apply with the sponge provided. If you want something a little more natural looking, I would apply this with a brush, but you can also apply this with your fingertips if you're on the go and you've forgotten to bring the sponge provided. You can also apply this dry, which is my method of application, or if you're wanting something a little extra, if you don't like any sort of powder foundation, you can apply this with a damp sponge. So it transfers to the skin beautifully well, more like a liquid foundation, but then dries down into the same finish once it's adhered to the skin. Now the 16-hour formula, which is the one that I've just run out of and went to go and buy another one, was quite a powdery formula. There was quite a lot of kickback in the pan, whereas the version before that, which was the pre-original version, actually didn't have any kickback in the pan for me. So it was surprising when I went to the 16-hour and there was a lot of fluffy kickback in the pan, which meant that I went through it a lot quicker than the original pre version. This one doesn't have as much kickback in the pan as far as I'm concerned. It just melts into my skin. It delivers a beautiful airbrushing yet mattifying finish. It is smoothing. It is just glorious. I love everything about it. Now, depending on what skincare I use, depends on how shiny this gets throughout the day. If I apply quite a heavy moisturizer, this isn't going to stay mattified for very long. Whereas if I apply quite lightweight products, this stays matte and smooth and airbrushing for a lot longer. So that's definitely something to bear in mind. The Bare Pro 24 Hour lasts for a really long time, as the name would suggest. I definitely don't think it lasts for 24 hours, and this is very shiny at the end of the day, but the wear test on this was 12 hours and it is all still present on my face. So it definitely lasts longer than the 16-hour version, which used to last around about 10 on me. We're at 12 hours and it's still going strong. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. I did think the shade 20M was going to be too yellow for me, but funnily enough, it looks slightly pinkier, peachier in tone, which, you know, it is supposed to, but when you first open the packaging, it looks rather yellow. And finally, we have the Lancome E.L.F 3 Serum Skin Tint. So this one here. Now, before I lay into this and completely trash it, I want to make you aware that this is just my personal opinion. I have had a look at so many different reviews and they are off the chart. This is a very well performing skin tint and I am a very small fish in a very big pond. So just bear that in mind when I'm talking about this, because I absolutely adore Lancome products, as you all know. This one just didn't get on with me and I did not get on with it. So this is the Lancome E.L.F 3 serum skin tint, the most expensive product in this video at £42, and you get the standard 30ml. It comes in 20 shades. I've gone for the shade 20N, which looks lovely on my skin tone. It's going to give anything from sheer to medium coverage, and it has a glowy finish. This has hyaluronic acid and glycerin for hydration, niacinamide to brighten, vitamin E for its antioxidant properties and its nourishment. It does contain alcohol and fragrance. This is Lancome. It's got the signature Lancome fragrance, which I don't find lingers for a really long time, and it's definitely not one of those fragrances that gives me a headache, but everyone's an individual. This has a squeezy dropper tube, which is really nice. The product is easily dispensed, and you can be quite precise with how much of this you want to dispense on the back of your hand, even though this has a very fluid texture. It's very serum-like. This looked the most skin-like on me. So for what I'm about to say is, it really is disappointing. This pilled on application. So as soon as this had dried down, as soon as I started applying all the rest of my products, bronzer, blush, concealer, this just started to ball up with all those other products. So I was left with no skin tint left and just a covering of blush or bronzer, those other products. So it was a little bit disappointing. It did look beautiful on my skin though, but that didn't last. This skin tint did not like my skincare, and it is the skincare that repelled this product and made it ball up, because on other days where I wore this with no skincare whatsoever, which is alien to me, this looked gorgeous, and it lasted a decent amount of time as well. So it is the skincare that is the issue, but as you know, foundations, they come and go, but skincare is a non-negotiable. So for me, this was a definite no. After 4 hours, I think, this really didn't look very nice. It looked a little cakey in areas because I think it was the skincare that was stopping this from penetrating into the skin. So rather than this looking like skin like it did right from the very beginning, it started to look a little heavier and a little cakey throughout the day, and it was that heaviness and cakiness and sort of putty feel on the surface of the skin that balled up and pilled, as you can see here. So this, I think, is after 6 hours, but from around about 4 hours, it was looking a little suspect. So let's rank these. I don't think you'll be surprised to know that the Lancome skin tint came in 5th position. I probably would wear this on days that, in fact, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't wear this. The only time I would consider wearing this is if my skincare was extremely light that day. Maybe I had no time for skincare, which, by the way, never happens. It's a lovely product. It was smoothing on my skin. It looked gorgeous. This was the most skin-like, I would say, out of all of the products that I tried, with the number 7 being close second. Really, really beautiful. So I was gutted, but it's in 5th position for a reason for me. That may not be a 5th position product for you, however, so definitely go into your local Lancome and try it out for yourself, because you may be pleasantly surprised. Position 4 is the E.L.F. The only reason this is in position 4, because it is an absolutely phenomenal product, is that putty feeling on the skin. This felt a lot heavier. It felt a little tight on me throughout the day, and although I didn't experience any drying throughout the week of trying this product, yeah, it just had that tight feeling that all mineral sunscreens give me. It was a little heavier than I liked, but beautiful finish, great wear, great for on holiday if you're wanting to look absolutely phenomenal for a long amount of time and you don't have very much time to apply 2 different products in the morning, you just want to apply one. And the fact that it's water resistant for 80 minutes I think is absolutely superb. So position 4. E.L.F. Position 3 goes to the number 7 sheer foundation. I really liked this. It was a little bit glowier than I would perhaps usually go for. Would I wear this again? Probably on those summer days where I'm wanting something extremely light. I do like it. I do think it has its place in the market, but it's not up there with my favourites. I do think it's very beautiful though. The Ordinary gets my second spot. I really like this. I find myself reaching for this more often than not reaching for this. I think it is a lovely formula. It is really lovely and lightweight. It lasts a really good amount of time for a serum foundation. Yeah, and I love the fact that this is a bog standard skin tint. This doesn't have loads of skincare ingredients in there that are gonna make this super shiny throughout the day. I like to apply my own skincare. You can do that with this product without it hindering the formula itself. So yeah, I really, really like it. So obviously the top spot goes to the Bare Minerals Bare Pro 24-Hour Powder Foundation. I love this. I love the coverage of this. I love how quick and easy it is to apply. I love how airbrushing this is. I love how skin-like this is. I just think it's lovely. This is the one that I have on my skin today. I gravitate towards this all the time if I am in a rush. This is my football match foundation when I'm not wanting to look overdone. I'm not wanting to look like I've made too much of an effort, but my skin is smooth, it is airbrushed, it is evened, and it lasts a considerable amount of time. Doesn't let me down. Really, really like it. Yes, it goes a little shinier throughout the day with all those hydrating and nourishing butters within this formula, but to say that I have a dry skin with an oily T-zone, this did not stick to any dryness, as did none of these formulas. It didn't accentuate any dryness. It didn't look overly shiny and oily and sweaty throughout the day. This was, yeah, definitely my favourite out of the 5. So that's it, and sorry for the late edition of the specs. I had to go and pick Bea up in a bit of a rush from school. She is absolutely fine, but I had a slight pause in filming and had to drive my car, so the glasses had to come out, and then, you know, I thought I might as well keep them on. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Have you tried any of these formulas? Are you enticed to try them in the future, or do you now think they are definitely not for me? Please let me know your opinions in the comments section. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave. If you found this video helpful, give it a share to anyone that you think may enjoy it as well. Hope to see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.